Hi, welcome to West 57th. I'm Meredith Vieira. Perhaps there is no desperation as great as that of a parent with a child in trouble with drugs or drinking. Who should you trust when family communication breaks down and you see your child's future reeling out of control? Across America, hundreds of parents have turned to a program called KIDS and its designer and director, Miller Newton. Many call him a saint, and KIDS healing medicine for shattered families. But now some disturbing allegations have been made by former staffers, clients, and parents. The stakes are great because the kids at KIDS could be the kids next door.
My name is Nelson. I'm 22 years old. The drugs I've done are pot, alcohol, treated pot, Valium, Rush, PCP, cocaine.
The confessions pour out, punctuated by occasional singing and the flapping of arms. What you're witnessing is a unique rehabilitation program called KIDS.
What has Kids of Bergen County done? Kids of Bergen County has actually put our family back together.
I'm thankful for my life back, and I know it was from the program.
The Kulik family is one of many devoted to KIDS. The rehab program has affiliates in Texas, California, and this one, Kids of Bergen County in Hackensack, New Jersey. It's the base of operation for KIDS president and clinical director, Dr. Miller Newton.
You know, I know what I'm doing here. I know I have a great deal of care for kids. I know we've developed a successful program. I know I would not run a program that I would not put my own child through.
Okay, I'm Dr. Miller Newton, the president and clinical director of Kids of Bergen County. And on behalf
The
of our
first
program,
year
I'd
in the
like to
program
welcome our
costs
guests tonight.
$8,500, plus an additional $95 a month for daily expenses. In return, KIDS offers a rigidly structured program for clients as young as 12 and as old as their 20s. All suffer from what Dr. Newton calls compulsions. Drug, alcohol, behavior, and even eating compulsions are all treated the same way, with the same day-in, day-out group therapy known as RAPS. Clients get attention by flapping their arms. It's called motivating. If they motivate hard enough, they get to talk about their problems.
I wanted to feel better, but I didn't want to stop using drugs. I didn't want to give everything up yet.
I didn't want to do drugs again. I did not want to do drugs.
When they're not talking, their days are spent in the program's trademark plastic blue chairs. The rap sessions often last 12 hours a day and are led by graduates of KIDS like Tony Kazakowicz and Celeste Kulik.
I really got where I'm sitting right now, and I'm happy, and if I can do it, I know that every single one of you guys can too.
Sit down. I want you to let it sink in, because it's a spiritual problem that you have. Okay, one more person in the fast part of the rap.
Graduates have made it through the program's 5 phases, winning back more freedom and responsibility as they're promoted. First phasers are belt looped, led everywhere, even to the bathroom, by more senior phasers. It's part of Dr. Newton's theory of treatment through peer pressure, kids confronting other kids. And at weekly open meetings, families have a chance to confront their children.
I feel like you just don't care. I don't even know what to do with you. All I know is you're in the right place. You can stay there, Tim. I'm really disgusted with you. You're really selfish and arrogant. That's how I feel about you. I love you.
I love you, Mom.
What you've accomplished in the 2 years you've been here is truly mind-boggling. I am truly proud of you, as proud as any father could be in a son.
I mostly lived every single day to get high on cocaine. I don't care where I slept, who I slept with, how I got it. As long as I got it, that's all that mattered. I had really no control over it anymore.
Our family was being ripped apart. My marriage was being ripped apart. We had nothing left. So we took her to KIDS for an assessment.
Celeste was 17 when her parents pulled her out of high school and put her into KIDS. Like all first phasers, she was separated from her family. Life by day became a blue chair. By night, she slept at the homes of senior phasers. Every move was dictated by a doctor of anthropology with a stern private vision of drug rehabilitation.
It's a tough program.
Yes, it is. It is. It's hard work. When your life is totally enmeshed with an addiction, when every arena of your life is messed up, when your self-esteem is so low, a little casual counseling doesn't work.
It's also a controversial program.
I find that interesting. You guys say that in the media.
I think what he can do to a young person is dangerous. I think he can destroy people's lives with the control that he holds, and I think that he has done it, you know?
Newton has said his critics are mainly program dropouts, but Christy Johnston was a Newton protege, a program graduate, and one of 7 former staff members we spoke with who now question the ethics of Kids of Bergen County. Christy and her parents, Jean and Ed, credit Newton with getting Christy off drugs and alcohol. But in the process, they say he nearly destroyed their family.
You feel Dr. Newton betrayed you?
Absolutely. The concern that I had was that her own identity had been removed, that she was so dependent on this program and this peer group and this support group that there was no life outside Kids of Bergen County, not even life with a family.
In essence, you trade one compulsion for another. The compulsion now is the program.
Most parents do not question the program, but many former staffers do. Christy, a paid staff member, worked as many as 80 hours a week, but it wasn't the long hours that came to trouble her the most.
I saw abuse and I was a part of abuse, actually, to tell you the truth. Scream, yell, threaten to beat them up, push them around a little bit.
This was on Newton's orders? This is what he suggested?
Dr. Newton and I did this together. Yes, this is what he told me to do. I took one girl into office and I scared her to death. And the next staff member pulled in another girl, and the staff member ended up winning a fight where they were rolling around on the ground. And Dr. Newton stood by and watched, or said, "I'll turn my back." And he told this girl, this staff member, you know, bring her in here and scare her, and if she hits you, hit her back. I mean, we mean business. This is the only way to get these kids to start behaving, and it worked.
Occasionally a kid will get in a rage so it's out of control, and under staff supervision they'll be held in their chair and talked to until they calm down, or the chair taken out and they laid on the floor until they calm down. But we try to keep it for a minimal period of time. We're very careful. We don't want anybody hurt.
Newton claims he's opposed to violence, but others remember him differently.
So we were very concerned about a program which we looked at as being something of a private jail, utilizing techniques of torture and punishment, which even a convicted criminal wouldn't be subject to.
Former Florida prosecutor David Levin first heard of Newton back in 1982 when he investigated a rehab program known as Straight. Although located in Sarasota, it took its orders from the main office here in St. Petersburg. And at the time, the clinical director of Straight Inc. was Dr. Miller Newton.
Our conclusion was based on the fact that he was the person who was responsible for training the people in the Sarasota office at how to conduct the program, which included these various, and I use their terminology, restraint techniques. It would be our terminology that it was child abuse and torture, was directed by Miller Newton.
That's a libelous statement because that's simply not correct. I didn't direct that program for the period in which the investigation was involved.
But Newton's own resume says otherwise.
I have you listed as National Clinical Director, Straight Inc., St. Petersburg, Florida, 82 to 83, and the investigation was 82 to 83. So you were Clinical Director of Straight Inc. during the investigation.
You can play with the dates all you want.
I'm not trying to, sir. You sparked me to just look at this. And
the time frame is correct, but I can tell you that I became clinical director and suddenly found out there was this thing going on I had never heard of before, that I walked into Cole and said, for God's sake, I am against any harm to any kids any place. Tell us what the problem is so we can fix it.
But in the midst of the investigation, Sarasota Straight decided to close down. The investigation was terminated, and Miller Newton left for New Jersey, where he created Kids of Bergen County. By 1986, the same types of accusations that had plagued Straight were being made about kids.